Hi guys, Timothy Painter here. I am really close to leaving for the RTR. For those who don't know, the RTR is called the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous. It's a meeting of nomads in the desert, which happens in the southwest desert of the US every year, usually in January. And I have had the hardest time getting out of Denver in order to go to the RTR this year. I was just about out the door when a client called me, a good friend, another attorney, and said, "Tim, I can't go to court today. Can you go for me?" I'm going to court today. I did not plan to go to court today, but an old attorney friend of mine called me and said, "Help, I have a case in Weld County," which is a long ways from where I live. So I can't tell you how court went. I'm not allowed to say anything about what happened with my clients. Who my clients are, it's just something that attorneys aren't allowed to talk about. But I got through court, let's just say that. And boy, I didn't want to get in on another case. I'm trying to finish up my caseload, but because this person has helped me so much, I said, sure, I'll go. And of course, it was a city a long ways away from Denver, so I raced up and took care of that case. Then today, I needed to get a vehicle out of storage. My storage time had gone by, and I had to do something with this vehicle. It's a 1973 Jeep pickup, which I've had stored for over 10 years. Stick around to the end of the video to find out what happens. We had a VIN inspection scheduled with the State Patrol, and halfway up to take the vehicle in, something happened to the engine, and we had to call AAA and have them come and tow the truck. So this kind of starts my more full-time adventure as a nomad. My plan is to spend an extended period of time away from Denver and away from all the responsibilities and living this life that we all talk about. The idea is to be boondocking most of the time to avoid the very high cost of rent, and then to cook as many meals as I can and to tour the country a little bit, and not to be here where I have to take care of things every single day. And as they say, you can take this job and shove it. Well, that's kind of what I hoped I'm doing right now, but I gotta get out of Denver. So after all these problems, I had to run up to Greeley and take care of a legal matter, and then I've got this vehicle that has turned into a nightmare. On top of all of that, my own vehicle has developed a check engine light. I had to get it into the mechanic, and it just seems like every time I turn around, there's another problem that's keeping me from being able to leave. And you know, sometimes you just have to throw things out to the universe, and if they're meant to happen, they will. And if they're not meant to happen, well, you just got to admit it. Now the hard thing for me is going to be figuring out what to do with my little Bengal cat, Miss Nix. Miss Nix and I have become very bonded, and I tuck her in every night. She actually follows me around the house to keep tabs on where I am. But I have decided, after a great deal of thought, that I cannot take this gorgeous cat with me, at least not at this point. You see, Miss Nix loves to wander, and she's an escape artist. She'll get out of your car, and you won't even know it. And when you do know it, well, tracking her down can be quite a chore. Last time it happened, we were in a parking lot, and she went from underneath one car to the next car to the next car, evading our capture for over 20 minutes. She knew what she was doing, but she didn't realize how much danger she was in. She missed straying into a busy street by only a few feet. We finally cornered her, and we decided, my friend and I, until I can devise a better system for traveling with a cat, Miss Nix is better off staying with my friends. They love her after all, and they'll take very good care of her. and I'll miss the hell out of her. But unfortunately, sometimes you have to do the best for the people you love and the beings that you love. And, well, I could easily see Miss Nix becoming a quick snack for a lucky coyote, and I just couldn't bear the thought of that happening. She just doesn't have the wherewithal to understand the dangers that face her when she's out on the road, exploring, as she dearly loves to do. So, Miss Nix, we'll see you soon. So the jury's still out a little bit about whether I'm going to get to go to the RTR at all. As I was saying, every time I turn around, it's something else that keeps me from leaving. Some other little problem that pulls me back in. And it's just been a nightmare. And I think many of you will find the same thing. It's not just like you turn in your apartment and quit your job and move on. In my case, life is so complicated. And I did a video some time ago talking about how complicated life can be and how hard it is sometimes to disentangle from all of the problems in life and all of the complications and all of the obligations, and then be able to go tour and live the van life that so many of us are seeking. And I think many of you probably would have the same problem. It isn't just as easy as saying, okay, I'm doing it. For some people it is, but for many of us it's not. And there's a real art to it. Part of the art is learning how to say no. And that's a real hard thing for me to do, is say no to people. No, I can't do this. No, I can't do that. Sorry, I'm going to be out of town. It's just really, really hard for me. And especially when it's people that I care about, then it's really hard to say, hey, look, I wish you the very best. I'd like to help you out on this. I know that there could even be consequences to you if I don't help you, but I just can't do it this time. I have other obligations, mostly to myself. And boy, that sure sounds selfish. But ultimately, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. More things before I can head out. I have to renew my vehicle license plate number, and I have to renew my law license. All of these little details they're terrible time wasters, but they got to be done. I don't want to be out on the road with expired plates. So if you like today's video, please press like. Please hang in to the last to find out whether I really got out tomorrow early or not, on top of everything else kind of holding me back. There's a big storm coming in, and I'm going to be racing to beat that storm. And I have 2 big mountain passes I have to get over in order to beat that storm. Otherwise, I'm going to be stuck at elevation 9,000 feet, just trying to stay warm. Boy, it gets cold up there in the mountains.